Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Dottie Berry, and I'm from Blaine, Washington, coming to you from the Pacific Northwest of the United States. I'd like to welcome you tonight, wherever you are in the world, and whether you're watching this live or whether you are watching it via recording later, because as we know, it's a different time zone in different parts of the world. But anyway, let me just introduce myself just a little bit. I'm known as Coach B, the Google Hangout Maven, and I'm CEO of Training to Transform Global Enterprises. And I'm a consultant coach, a trainer, and a speaker. Really excited. I'm going to be leaving on Friday to go speak in San Diego. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I've got some different speaking engagements coming up, and I always enjoy doing that, but I always enjoy being home. Hey, Barry, that's the great thing about BYOB, right? Be your own boss and build your own business. We can do it anywhere in the world.
That's right.
And
that's the joy of that.
Yeah, Barry, so tell us how you're feeling, because you're actually, let me just say a little bit about Barry here. Barry is 25 years old. He's an amazing young man who's become a colleague and a friend of mine. He's going to be coming out to visit me soon, actually. He's in the Air Force, and he's being transferred to Japan. So you talk about really going to other parts of the world. He'll be not only in the Air Force, he'll be doing his internet marketing and his other company over there. And I told him when he comes back, he's going to be financially free. There's no doubt in my mind. And this is the way you do it. You know, you start in one place, and you put one foot in front of the other, you learn skills, you build on those, and it really is possible. But Barry, tell me how you're feeling, because you're getting ready to go to Japan.
Dottie, I really don't know how to put it all in words, because it seems like just yesterday I got the notification I was going, and then now I'm headed out here in just a few days. It's a kind of an overwhelming feeling sometimes, but like I say before, don't let those obstacles hold you back. Always look at things, even internet marketing and life, and now going, to Japan. It's going to be a different experience, but I'm looking forward to seeing how much I'm going to grow from that. Every situation in life that I go through, I think, how is this going to write my story? How are people going to see this later? And I'm just excited. It's going to be a great opportunity. I joke and tell people I've never left the 13 colonies, much less the country. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, just coming to the West Coast to see you, Dottie, is going to be an adventure.
Oh, there you go. We're going to have a great time. You know, it's so interesting to be in different spaces in our life right now. I'm sitting there thinking back to when I first went to Japan. I used to coach women's basketball at the University of Kentucky. And so in 1980, we took the team 3 years in a row for 6 weeks at a time. And gosh, 1980. Is that 35 years ago, really, or something like that? Anyhow, so I'm looking at Barry, and I told him I'm a little bit jealous. You know, I see where he's getting to go right now. I'm like, wow, I wish I could go back and do that. But it's fascinating that we can be totally different in age, but very, very connected because of our interests of what we want to continue to do in life. And Barry, I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I've been invited to go back to Lexington, Kentucky, 30 years after I was in a group called Leadership Lexington, and speak to that group. So I'll be there in April speaking, and then they've also invited me to speak to their Emerge group, which is their young entrepreneurs. So there's always exciting things happen, Barry, no matter where you're going. You know, you're looking forward. I'm kind of looking at history now for myself, but it's a lot of fun, and I know you're going to be fantastic. And Barry will continue to be on our Hangouts. He'll just be in a different time zone. It won't look any different to you all out there, and I know you appreciate it. And Barry, I'd like to just personally thank you, because you've stepped in and been a great leader, and actually done these Hangouts when I've been gone some, on occasion, and you've done a fantastic job. So I've seen you growing a lot, and I just wish you the best. So anyway, let's get going tonight. I tell you what, we've got some great things we're going to show you. But first, let me just say again to welcome everybody. Whether you are in Power Lead System, Lead Lightning, or whether you're a visitor that was invited by somebody, we really appreciate that you're here tonight. What we're going to be talking about is actually the Power Lead System, which is the gold upgrade from Lead Lightning. Now, the last couple of weeks, what we like to do, just so you'll know if you're visiting or if you're already in one of the programs, is we like to have some things for the beginners, and then we like to have some things for the more advanced people. So, you know, I don't know where you're at in your journey. And if you're a beginner, some of this may, you know, be a little bit over your head, quite honestly. But that's okay, because if you will sit and listen, I think you're going to learn some things. And for one thing, if you're in Lead Lightning, you're not going to have these type of options for customization that I'm showing you. But that doesn't mean, oh, get off right now. That means pay attention, because watch what we're doing. And when you see what is possible for building your marketing system, you might say, you know what? I think that I've got to get that upgrade and go to Gold and get Power Lead System so that I can do those customization type of things, because you can't do that with Lead Lightning. Now, Lead Lightning is a great program. $7 one-time fee. You get 2 links that you can lead, you know, one to offer people Lead Lightning, make $6 every time somebody buys it for $7. It doesn't get any better than that. Your second link, you can lead to a business that you have from the link that you're given. They're done for you links. You don't have to do anything except use them. Now, there is the situation of traffic, okay? So, Barry, I know that we're going to be talking about traffic later on in the Hangout tonight. So, again, just so you know, we're going to cover some customization. I'm going to show you a really brand new type of funnel that's not really even been released inside Power Lead System yet. Neil shared the code with me, and I'm going to show you how that works, because I think it's going to be really exciting. And you know, if you all want to touch bases, we'll see about giving you that code and all. But I just wanted you to see some of the options that are available. So, Barry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and screen share. While I'm doing that, why don't you tell them about what we're going to be covering a little bit later with some traffic situations.
All right, Dottie. So Dottie and I we were on the Hangout last night, or Skyping, coming up with some topics that we wanted to cover for tonight. And one of the things I thought that was most prominent in our Facebook group that we have is that people are getting started with Power Lead System or Lead Lightning. We've created their sales page, but now they are trying to get traffic to their opportunity, their page. Well, how do we do that? Well, there are several different ways, and that can seem to be overwhelming at times. I know it has been, and sometimes still is for me to figure out how to get traffic and get started with promoting my link. So some of those things we're going to talk about tonight, some types of free traffic options that we've tried, and of course paid traffic, and we'll get to talk about a few of those tonight.
Yeah, that's great, Barry. Thank you for kind of going over that, and we'll get to that just a little bit later. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm inside of our back office right now. Can you see that, Barry?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to pages. When you drop down from websites, you can go to manage websites, or you can go to web pages. And these are ones that I've already created. So what I did is I took the code, all right, that Neil gave me, and I put it in the, you know, in a blank template. Now, I do want to have a caveat right here. Do not go out and get just code from some other system and bring into a blank page. If you're creating code and you're at that level, that's one thing. But if you go out and you bring code from outside our system, it might have some bugs in it, you know what I'm saying? And it will trip up the system, and they'll shut you down on that. So be very careful with that. But the reason I could create this in a blank page is because this code was actually from our system, okay? And so Neil gave this to me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of go over here and grab that code of the one I created so that you can actually see how I put that in a system. So let's just pretend that I'm in here and I have to get the code. This is how you do it. You go in there and you go to source, and just pretend like this is what Neil sent me, because it is, at least partially. What he did is he sent me the code, and then I went in and put in a picture from the background, because it was a blank background, and I told him I wanted to put a picture in. So he said, well, go into our system, put a picture from the background, and then change that picture. So that's what I did. So if we were starting at where I started, I would go to web pages, create a web page, okay? And then what I did is I was going to create a custom template, and actually I wanted to create it with a blank template, okay? Let me change that right there. I want to do it. Let me just go back here. Create web pages with a blank template, okay? So when I go in here, it says blank sales page. Can you see that still, Barry?
Yes.
Okay. And when I go in here, you're going to notice it just says click here to edit the body of your page. So I go over to source, and I'm just going to remove that, okay? And I'm going to put this in just like that, okay? So when I put that in and I save the changes, that's all I did to get started. And right here, since it did not originally have a picture, I clicked on edit the background, and I actually used, you know, one of the images, you know. So you can click on that, and I could have added, and what I did is I just went in and I added one of those images. Now, at this point, I've already taken that image out, okay? So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to show you what happened when I put that in. So when I go to view it, tells you right now that it's a test link. So here's what I did. I was actually, I'm releasing a book in January called Dare to Take Your Epic Journey. And it's about becoming an educator entrepreneur, because the real gist today, Barry, as I was sharing with you, is that people creating courses is going to be the major dynamic happening in internet marketing over the next few years. Just thinking that you're going to throw something out there and somebody's going to grab onto it is not going to be the way it happens. And people who have not been really honing their skills on educating and teaching and training are going to find that what they're doing is not as effective. So I think, Barry, for people like yourself and others to be able to understand how to put together a course. Now, what do you see happening right here, Barry?
I see the number where it says only 18 spots left. It's counting down. Now it says 17.
Right. Yeah. So that's what's happening. So as you use this particular lead capture page, it gets the name, the email, and the phone number. And if you'll notice, when I went to it, it had a little jiggle right here to, you know, to kind of get your attention. Click here to continue. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to just kind of let it sit there a minute, because as it winds down, you're going to see in a second what happens. But let me take you back over, because, Barry, there's several parts when we're doing a custom funnel, okay? Now, all I did, this is not the code that I had when Neil sent it to me. It said something entirely different. So what I want you to understand is that you can actually change this information, okay? So if I went over here, and I'm going to go back over here, and I went to edit text, I could go over here, since this is a copy I've made, I won't be messing up my original. I could change the number of spots. I could say, now is the time to become a foodie. You like food, don't you, Barry?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. You know, and you could, in other words, you can say whatever you want. Okay. You can change those in there. I can also change this background picture. Now, the way you do that is you go into your source code, and I'm going to do that right now. And I do a Command F on my Mac. I believe it's probably Control or Option F if you have a PC, okay? And I'm going to put in there, I'm going to put in here a photo, because I actually did this over in Photo Bucket. So, Barry, can you see that link right there?
Yes, I can. You got it highlighted in blue.
Yeah. So if I went and I put in a picture for something else with another link, then that background picture would change. And that's how you actually have a different image. You go into your source code, you do a search for that link. And I put in photo because I knew it would bring me to Photo Bucket. The way I found the one for PLS is I just put in PLS, and it was another background picture. I removed that and I put in my own. Okay. So let me just go back there. I think I just hit something. So anyway, then I would go back and, you know, it would be a different picture, but it's not because I didn't change that. Now let's go over here and see if it's only 3 spots left. Okay. So let's see what happens when it ticks on down. You can see, so when somebody's looking at this, you know, they know that some of the spots are ticking off. That now that goes down to 2. I'll go back over here real quick because I can go here and save this, and I'll view it again. And you're going to see that just by that one change, you see the little jiggle jaggle right there, Barry? It does.
Yes, I did. I really like that.
Yeah, it kind of catches your attention. But now it says now is the time to become a foodie, you know. And I could have changed anything on this. So if you see the power of this and how cool it is, and what I'll do, I'll tell you what, I'll put the code in the chat afterwards, okay? So anybody who wants the code for this particular lead capture page, hey, it's going to be happening for you. And you can replace and change anything in here that you can change the color. Let me go back and change that. Let's just say that I wanted to go in here and I wanted to say, take my course on how to create a course about making tacos. You know, I'm just saying you can put anything you want in there. So then I would come up here. Let's say I wanted to put it in red. Well, I could just put, you know, whatever. I could change that. So when I went down here, and if I went and I saved my changes, when I go to view, I should see that color change. You see how easy that is, Barry? It's pretty simple, huh?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Can we change the text on the button?
These are going to be coming, Neil said, where everybody will have access. So we're just kind of giving you a heads up. So let's go over here and see what happened then. I'm going to go over to this other link if I can click on it now. Okay, I think what happened, oh, that's not the one I was on originally. Okay, here's the one I was on originally. Those are the 2 that I showed you. Do you see that, Barry?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one that I originally showed you. Now, what do you see there, Barry? What happened?
The offer has expired.
Yeah.
Now your reader can hit refresh to get another chance at opting in.
Yeah, so watch what happens. It resets it, you know? So, you know, now those changes, though, that I put in there, you see that those are in there where I changed the color and so forth. So it's no longer the same one because I'm working on the same lead capture page. So anyway, I wanted you to understand. So you may be saying, okay, so what are you leading them to? All right. Now we're talking about creation of the funnel right now. This is the lead capture page. If you're new, the part that captures the name, the email, and the phone number in this case is called the lead capture page. You know, Barry, I think sometimes we forget that some people who are new don't know the different components that are a part of an overall sales funnel. Would you agree with that?
Sometimes, because they're called many different things, like a landing page, a sales page, an opt-in page.
Yeah.
It can be confusing.
Yeah. So this is the same thing as an opt-in page or a lead capture page. A sales page is a little bit different. That's what you get when you've already opted into something. So let me go back here and show you what I created, or let me just take you first of all, and it'll show you what I created. Right here is where I created, let me make sure I'm on the right one here. Okay, right here is the one I just showed you. This is my sales page up here. So let's just test it and we'll see exactly how this works. Okay, so I'm just going to put in an email here because you do always want to test. Okay, so, and to be quite honest, earlier today, this verification code was missing. So I was messaging Neil, and I think it was just something that happened for a little while, and then it was back up. So, but I found that when I was testing. So when they go in here for the verification code, watch what's going to happen.
Hello, my name is Dottie Berry.
Now, that's a video that I shot just earlier on the Google Hangout platform. And this is what I want to share with you. Barry, have you found this to be a great way to even shoot your individual videos that you want to get out there?
I've made 95% of my videos with Google Hangout.
Yeah. So
it's so easy. It doesn't require any tech skills on how to upload it to YouTube. It's really simple. But that could be a whole nother hangout on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, here's the situation. Barry and I are right now on a hangout, and we're doing a training, and you can do that. Or let's say you were doing an information hangout and you had 5 or 6 people on talking about their experience with their product. That's one way you can use Hangouts. But Hangouts are great to use for your individual videos because it gets great SEO, because we've shared this many times, but YouTube owns, Google owns YouTube. So they give a lot of love to those Google Hangouts. So I didn't want to go and just shoot this on my iPhone or on some other platform. I wanted to shoot this on the Google Hangout platform. Now, you're going to see something that happened, though. Initially, when this came up, and I'm going to just do it again, you did not see this down below. Do you see that,
Hello,
Barry?
my name is Dottie Berry, and I'm known as...
So what happens is I put a 30-second delay on this, all right? And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to show you what happened with that. But that 30-second delay allows me just to speak to the people who opted in. And I'm thanking them for opting in. I'm thanking them for the fact that they're going to get, a summary of my book before it comes out. Now, do you see what just popped up, Barry?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So 30 seconds later, it tells them, congratulations for being on this special list of people who will receive the book summary in January in advance of the official release of my book, which is Dare to Take Your Epic Journey, Become an Educator Entrepreneur. So I want you to see how this is set up, though, because this is very important. Now, I'm using this because I'm actually going to do a talk in San Diego. So I have a whole nother invitation that leads them to this link. It gives them an option of opting in to get a summary of my book. So right here, I'm going to go back. Now, let me take you and show you that sales page, okay? Show you how I crafted it and put it together. So right here, it starts at the top. You give it a name, all right? I gave that sales page a name. Now, you may be wondering, well, where did you go to get that sales page? Well, I'm going to show you right here. Let me take you over. In the web pages, you go to create web pages right there. And I put with a custom template because I didn't have any code I was going to be pasting in. That was the lead capture page. I put with a custom template. But because this is a sales page, I put does not need an opt-in form. Does that make sense, Barry?
Right, because you've already opted in.
Right, right. And so right here, you could get a blank sales page, right there. But what I did is I used this one because I needed a button on it. And you're going to see that in a minute. So what I did is I just chose this one, okay? It's got, what does it say? The content appears on a time delay. I wanted that. So I simply came in here and I could view it. I already knew what it was, so I just chose it, okay? So now you can see where it says appearing content sales page. So let me go back now to where I was showing you that, okay? And go back to the page that I actually created. But I wanted you to see where to go and create it. Does that make sense to you, Barry?
Right, yes. You want to show them before and then after.
Okay, so now I hope that you're going to see what this looks like. So you go to the top, and at the top, it didn't have a banner. So I put in a banner. Right here, you could just type in wording. So I put in wording that I wanted. And right here, it just says holding this spot for your video. So once I went in there, I then went to edit the bottom. So when I went in there, notice right here, I could have chosen, I don't want anything to appear under the video, but that wasn't true. I wanted to give them some information. I could have put, I want my content to show up without any delay. That's not what I wanted. I wanted 30 seconds. I wanted them to pay attention to what I was sharing in the video. Now I could change that to 45 seconds if I wanted to, whatever. And I put that I wanted a button. Remember the reason I said I chose this? I wanted a button. You could have chosen it and not used any of the buttons. But what I did is I did this, and then I wrote in here what I wanted my text button to say. So it says $197 special beta pricing, regularly $1,997 because that's the normal price of a course. But by being a part of the beta and being a part of what I'm talking about and training people on how to be a educator entrepreneur, they get to come and learn how to do this so they can go out and create a course themselves. Because when you get a small group of people together, Barry, then you can scale up, what works or doesn't work about the course that you've created. You don't want to invite 1,000 people to a course and not be able to give some individual attention to them in the beginning. And you want to make sure that you've got, all the bells and whistles working right. So I only needed one button. So do you see how that works, Barry?
Yes, I'm following.
Yeah. So I went then and I put in my copy. I typed in what I wanted it to say. I brought in the cover of my book. Now, how do I do that? Well, the way you do that is you click right here so that you, right here so you can click on image. And when it goes to image, I'm not going to mess with this right now because I don't really need to have anything happen to this page. But when you click on image, it's going to give you the option of uploading an image into the editor function in the back office of PowerLead system, and then you can bring in whatever you want, okay? And then I put in the rest of my information down here, and, I can just say save changes because nothing's changed. And then what it does, it goes to your background. Well, the preset default background is kind of a bluish color, and I wanted to change it to a kind of a light gray. So I changed it, and then I had to click change. If you click on one of these colors and you don't save it, when you go back later, you're going to have the same background color you did have. Now, what I did next was I went to select video location, okay? So I wanted to use it from another website, which is YouTube. So I had to go in there. I put start my video automatically, and I went in. Now, I'm going to show you where you go over here on YouTube to get that actual piece of code, okay? So I'm going to go over here to my YouTube channel. I'm already logged in. I'm going to click on channel. And this is one that's already, it's kind of slow. I've got several things up here, as you can see, so it's taking a minute to get over there. But once you get over to your channel, then you can click on any video. And when you go to the share function, you can choose a link or the embed code. Now, on this particular one, it asked me for the embed code, so that's what I've got to use. It'll take just a minute longer. Okay, now you can see right here, there's the video that I just did. So I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Now, I changed the, you get images that you can use. Well, the one that, it just pulls up one automatically. I went and changed it to this one because the one that I had me like in mid-sentence. You know how that looks sometimes, Barry? Not very good.
Right. Like the videos on the side there.
Right. And so anyway, I'm going to stop right there for a second. Now, here's where you go. This is where you go and get your share code. Now, it wasn't the link that I needed. It was the embed code. So all I did is I went over here and I copied that. It's already highlighted, okay? And I came back over here and I put that code in. I mean, I did that not 30 minutes before this hangout tonight. It was the last piece of my funnel that I needed in there. Because if I had sent that funnel out, Barry, and it said, put your video here, that wouldn't have looked very good, would it?
Oh, no.
No, that would have been bad. Okay, so now that's in there. I'm just going to save it to make sure nothing goes anywhere. And so then when you go to check your sales page, you can look at it, and we're going to see that there it is, okay? And you can see that from 30 minutes before I changed clothes. I had something different there, and now, I'm dressed differently. But again, there's the delay. You don't see anything dropping down there. Not right now. I just want to speak to them and say, thank you for opting in. Thank you for coming in and saying you want a summary of my book before the official release, That's a good kind of list to build, because it tells somebody, what do you think that tells me about those people who might opt in to get that summary, Barry?
Gives you an idea of who your audience is going to be and what the demand is and how you can meet that need.
Absolutely. It also tells me this, that there are some people who are interested possibly in being an educator entrepreneur. Now, if they haven't opted in for one of those special spots and paid their $197 between now and January, I'm going to be sending other email follow-up to them, encouraging them to do that. I'll be doing other videos saying, look, I know you opted in. I know you're interested in getting a summary of the book. You must have some interest in being an educator entrepreneur. I don't want this to scare you. I want you to be excited about the potential of creating your own course. Does that scare you a little bit, Barry, to think about creating your own course?
A little bit. I've put a few little courses together, but they weren't very big, just like maybe a 30-minute course or like a 3-day course. But the idea of making a huge course like some that I've been a student of online, it just seems so intense. Like, it's so much detail that goes into that and planning. But I'm sure I'll learn. I'm going to have to do that one day to keep up with the change of times.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you're sitting there and you're a person and you get, my sales funnel, and somebody says, wow, I really do want to know how to create my own course, then that's the kind of person that's going to opt in. They're sitting there saying, wow, I think I'd like to pay $197 to get the jump on this rather than waiting till later and paying almost $2,000. Do you think that's delivering value for a great price, Barry?
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah. So that's what you've got to do. And so, see, there will be, I may have somebody doing a course on fly fishing. I may have somebody doing a course on how to set up your own nonprofit. But what I know is that there are a lot of people out there, Barry, who have a burning desire to teach, coach, and train. And what I want them to understand is not only can they create an impact in the world, they can create an income. So think about it. If you just got 20 people at $197 a piece, that's a pretty good start on making an income, isn't it?
I'd say so. And it's all yours because you created the content. You are the one that you're paying.
Absolutely. So anyway, I think the educator entrepreneur is just really great because I see so many people every day who has so much knowledge. And that's what I want to tell them. Don't keep it inside of you. So what I'm sharing with you here is a funnel that I've created to kind of do something unique and special. It's totally customized. So let's go back and let's see, well, where does the next part go? Well, if they're going to pay for it, it's got to take them to a page, right? So the next page it takes them to, and this is going to be the third part of my funnel. I'm going to show it to you first, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you about creating this, okay? So if I go in here, now that's a page that I created, and it says again, special price at $197 for Dare to Take Your Epic Journey, Become an Educator Entrepreneur. Now, I don't have a video in there right now, but you know what I'm going to do, Barry? I'm going to go put a video in there. I'm going to say, hey, thanks. You must be interested in being an educator entrepreneur if you've made it this far. And you're thinking to yourself, should I pay $197 or should I wait and pay $1,997? Well, that's probably one of the easiest decisions you'll ever make, pay $197. So then I had to go over and I had to set up my PayPal button. Now, we're not going to get into how to set up PayPal buttons tonight, okay? But I will go in and show you the sales page and show you where you put the link once you do have that and have created it. We can't have a 5-day course in the span of 1 hour tonight, can we, Barry?
Oh, no. We don't have time for that.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the third page, and I've got a PS in there. I'm offering them some other special things about discovering their EPIC code, a personality profiling system that's going to help them. So yeah. And right now I've got, because of my talk that I'm doing, I'm telling people make sure that they've RSVP'd for this event in San Diego. And I would say to anybody who's on this right now and hearing this, if you are in the San Diego area and you want to come meet me personally and attend this, this is actually for women entrepreneurs on Tuesday morning, October the 20th. You're more than welcome. But, you know, if you want to just meet up, you know, send me a message on Facebook and let me know. So let me go back and show you now this third component, Barry. Okay, I'm going to take you back here, go back to web pages, and here it is. It says PayPal, okay? So I go into this, and this is the actual, you know, component that I created. And right here in edit text, okay, I could put anything I wanted in here, all right? This is how it looked. Your headline goes here, you know. All the different things that you can create. So I put some little graphics in there, an arrow pointing down there. I let the date stay in there. I let it show my name and so forth. And then here's the code. When you make a button over on PayPal, it gives you an HTML code. Now, if I weren't doing anything with PayPal right now, I wouldn't need this page, right, Barry?
Right.
So you've got this page, you put the code in. Right there, I put in my PS, I put in my PPS. So everything is in there. I'm just going to save it again. Okay. Now, it says right here, I want to use a video from another website. Now, when I go back and put the video in here, that I'll probably go ahead and do it after this Hangout tonight, then I will click on that. I will save it just like I showed you in the sales page, and then there will be a video in that part as well, okay? So those are three components. Now, Barry, let me just stop and ask you, is all this making sense about how you get a lead capture page, an opt-in page, in other words? That's step one. How you create a sales page, step two. How you have a page that leads to the opportunity to charge somebody for PayPal. Is that making sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay, fantastic. So we're already almost 40 minutes into this Hangout. So Barry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you screen share, and let's go in the training back office of Power Lead System, because now we're going to talk about, I mean, let's face it. Let me go back over here real quick. I'm going to take it off that. I'm going to come back to the Hangout. Nope, that's not the Hangout. That is Skype. Let me get back over here. I'm going to stop sharing.
There you are. We found you.
What's that?
I said you were looking for the Hangout, so I was like, well, here you are. You found us, or we found you.
Yeah, I found it. So anyway, folks, I hope that this is being helpful to you to show how you build a funnel, a customized funnel. Now, that's very detailed. You know, I took a lot of time putting that together. There's no doubt about that. There were various components. But that's sort of a more advanced skill set, you know, of bringing in different components. But you could have done something very simple with that same funnel idea, you know. It's just that, you know, I had a book cover, you know, PayPal, different things like that. But I want you to see what's possible, because if you have Lead Lightning, there are limitations to that. Granted, it's only $7 one time. If you want to upgrade to Gold membership, then you're going to pay $53.97 a month. It's $30, okay, for the system itself, plus $23.97, because what that also does, it enables you to offer that system and to create an income from it, which is great. Now, the most income you can make from Lead Lightning is $6 off of the $7 link. But hey, if you've only paid $7, Barry, I don't know a better deal than that. Do you?
Mm-mm.
No. It's just not a better deal. But that's customization is what I just showed you. And if you have any questions, you know, you need any help, reach out to me on Facebook. You know, you can find me. I'll be glad to help you in any way. And I know Barry will as well. So Barry, I'm going to turn it over to you. I've stopped the screen share because all I did was have a link. All right. And, you know, you may be thinking, okay, where in the heck? And you know, Barry, what I'll do is at the end, I'll screen share again and show them the invitation to my talk so that they can see how I incorporated that. Because, see, my link has a traffic source right now, okay? It has a traffic source because the lady who invited me to do the training is sending it out to all of her group, all of her women entrepreneurs. But what if you don't have that yet? Well, you got to go find some traffic, because if I didn't have that, all I would have created is a great sales funnel. It'd be real pretty, it'd look good, but it wouldn't get me anywhere. So Barry, screen share, and let's start talking about what you've run into with traffic. What do you think new people are going to run into, and where can they go to find how to get traffic to their links?
Okay. Well, Dottie, I'll start by logging into the back office here of our Power Lead system. And we have a link here that says promote your business. And then there's traffic generation strategies for online and for offline. And also, if we go into the training, the back area of the training, is that where you want me to go, Dottie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go into the back area, log in. And if you don't have a login, it's real simple. It's free. Just click on create account. Click here to log in. So here we have some tips for marketing. So let's go in the search box and click marketing or type marketing and see what we get here. Success with PLS and Facebook marketing, email marketing. Any video that Jeff Mills did, that's great for generating traffic. This video right here, specifically how to beg, borrow, and buy traffic. Great video by Jeff Mills. I think Neil Guest is on that as well. It's a pretty long video, but he goes into a lot of stuff here.
See, Barry, what I want people to understand also is that when you start down the journey of being an internet marketer, it doesn't happen by osmosis. You know, you've got to go and you've got to study, just like you're going to class in college. I mean, because really that's what this is. You know, if you've got a link, once you learn to have the link, you've got to learn how to get traffic to it. And these things that Barry's showing you are videos that you can go watch. And free ad secrets, Barry, what about that? The course that people can get when you upgrade, not only can you upgrade to gold, okay, you can also upgrade and you can get a course for only $147, the free ad secrets. And so it's great training on really how to get your link out there, all kinds of information. And also what happens when you get that course, every time you offer that course, when you have it, you make $100 off of that course. So it's another revenue stream. So go ahead, Barry.
And I actually purchased that course, and some of the things I learned through that were great. So we're going down here. Then it gives you solo ad vendors. Some of these are solo ad vendors that people in Power Lead System have suggested, I guess. Or some of them have actually some like deals. If you're promoting Power Lead System, you just go through and contact the vendor and just see what they have to offer you and what you're trying to promote. See if it's something that their list would be interested in. And trust me, the buyers they know their list. They know what they're eager to see. So something I haven't tried are banners. But if you have a blog that you are consistent with and updating, be a good idea to put a banner on your blog. That'll be a great way to attract some visitors that way.
Absolutely.
So I want to just note something that I've done, and you probably can piggyback off this as well, is YouTube, using the Google Hangouts to create videos. Mm-hmm. And like we said before, those videos, they rank higher and quicker using a Google Hangout on Google and YouTube. So if I'm creating a video on something that people might be looking up, say they want to know how to upload a video to Facebook, well, I can create a video, screen share with Google Hangout, how to upload a video on Facebook, and then I could put a link in there that says to get more tips on increasing your Facebook fan page and getting more free lead traffic tips, opt into my email list. And you could put that link in the description of your YouTube video.
Absolutely. That's a great idea, Barry.
So they're way, and that's one thing. Never leave a video without a link to somewhere else on your in your description, because it's like you're going to send them to an island out in the middle of the ocean with nowhere else to go. They're not going to get anything. So definitely always have a link.
I'll tell you what, that is an excellent tip. I'm glad you reminded everybody about that, because that is real. I see that all the time. You know, you find a YouTube video and you might want more information and there's no link there. It's like a dead-end road. A dead-end road in marketing is bad news.
Right. Same thing with emails. So always have a link to go somewhere else to provide extra value. And something I listened to today, Dottie, was talking about how to use social media and then get them to your email list. So it was talking about like Google, Facebook, Instagram. So when you look at that online presence versus offline, it's like, so say you're going to a networking event, or you're at a party, or you're at like a public setting, like a concert. Well, that's similar to Facebook, Instagram, and Google Hangout, Google Plus, is that you're just mingling with friends. You're hanging out with a group of people. So look at that as your social media. You're hanging out with a group of people. And what do? You share stuff of interest. You share stories. You share funny stuff, inspirational quotes. And you start building an audience that way. But then you might have a link that takes them to a page or a blog. You know, maybe it's a sales page inside a Power Lead system. There, it's like inviting those people to your home. You don't invite everybody you meet outside to your home, but if someone you build a relationship with, you'll invite them over to your home. That's like you're taking them to your page. Your Power Lead system lead capture page and sales page, that's your real estate. Like your blogs, your real estate. And then that's where people will probably come to ask questions like, well, what do you do for a living? Or what are you doing online? How are you building an income? Then that's where you can offer to share valuable information on how either they can do that for themselves or increase the productivity in their business. And then you get them onto an email list that way. So I just thought that was really interesting too. I wish I had a visual for that, but I thought that was pretty powerful as well.
Absolutely, Barry. That's a great idea. Thanks for those super tips. Now, what Barry did right here, he did a search, okay? So you can either search or you could go right there to marketing, Barry. Click on the marketing tab. So you could have either searched like he did, or you could click right on marketing, and you see that this is taking you through where you can purchase clicks. And this is all about traffic. And Neil's gone over before about the free rotator, you know, and there's all these solo vendors. That other one was one that was more solo vendors, you know. So the key, though, is traffic, all right? I mean, there's no doubt that a good sales funnel is very important, and it's better than a bad sales funnel. But I'm going to tell you what is the truth. Traffic is the most important thing you can do. And once you find something that works with a good funnel, then you simply scale the traffic. And that's the same thing I'm talking about, the idea, Barry, with doing a course. Once you find out what works, what people like, what they don't like, then you can scale it. So if you get a really good funnel and you do some testing with it with your traffic, and you find out, wow, I'm getting a certain opt-in rate, people like this, then that's when you just buy more traffic and send that traffic to that link, and that's how you build your list faster than you were doing previously. So those are great things. So 2 ways to do that: search or come over here in marketing and start going into the different ways for traffic. Also upgrade to you know, the next level above our goals so that you can be, you know, in there getting your free ad secrets for $147. And then, of course, you can upgrade and get your Facebook course. So that's always a great one. That's the highest cost is $497, but you make $400 off of it. So anything else you want to share about traffic, Barry?
Yes. I will say one thing I've learned. I'll come off a screen share for this one.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Am I back?
You're not yet. You got to stop it there at the top. It's still showing. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. One thing I've learned, Dottie, is there's two types of traffic. It's pretty obvious. There's paid traffic and then there's free traffic. A lot of us, myself, I always wanted to start off with free traffic because it didn't cost anything. There was no risk. However, free traffic still costs you time and energy versus paid traffic. And I think there needs to be a level playing field of both, okay? Because with paid traffic, you send your ad out there and then it's gone. You know, your ad is on that billboard until your funds run out, then they're going to remove it and put another ad up there in place of that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do when your ad's gone? Now nobody's looking at you. You don't have any eyeballs on your content. However, if you produce, what I would call free traffic, which I like to think is just really content merely, is like a video on YouTube. It didn't cost you anything to create, but a little bit of your time. So that video can go to work for you. That content can go to work for you all day, all night, 365 days a year. So a video I created back in March is still generating views and leads even now to this day, 5-6 months later. So you definitely have to have a balance of the two. So I just want to bring that out as well. So, free traffic is not always free. It's always costing you something. So there's got to be a balance.
Yeah, that's a great points that you brought out, Barry. I appreciate you doing that. Good job. So we're going to kind of wind it up here, but I am going to go back and screen share because sometimes I think when we're talking about customizing and funnels and different things like that, you don't really see the big picture and where things might fit together. So since this is something that I've, kind of got a big picture approach to, I'm going to share it with you so that it helps you understand a little bit better. So I'm going to go screen share here again and go over to the web pages. But then I'm going to put in a link. Let me just get to where I need to go. All right. You're seeing that right there, right, Barry?
I see your web pages.
Yeah, but let me go here. I've got to bring it up. All right. So now I'm going to put in another link, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about. Okay, what I did was, just to explain, for my invitation for the talk that I'm doing for the lady that invited me, I wanted to get her information. So I went into Keynote. Now, Keynote is like PowerPoint for PCs. And I went into that because I can do clickable links, because once I do my PowerPoint, I'm not only getting ready for my talk and I can just change some other things around, but I can use some of the basics and save it as a PDF. And then I pull that PDF up into the cloud and make a link out of it, okay? Now, I'm not going to show all these things. That's another whole detailed training. But I'm going to just talk about some of the steps. And then I connected it to a specific domain, custom domain. So when I go to this one right here, it's actually going to pull up. You're going to see that it says a PDF, okay? Now, this is a PDF, but this is actually a PDF that I created through doing my Keynote, which is PowerPoint. I saved it to a PDF. I uploaded the PDF into the cloud, made a link out of it, and then I took my custom link, which is 247 Epic Marketing, and I connected that. I cloaked it so that you don't see this funky looking link. Now, when you see that, then this is the invitation to the whole thing. You can see that it happens October 20th at the Keller Williams office in San Diego. Melissa Rocks, that's what we call her because you can't pronounce her last name very well. This is how people RSVP. So then I'm letting them know, what are you going to get when you come to the presentation? What are you going to discover by being there? They want to know what's in it for me, right? So there's where I explain it. And then I take them through that there's going to be the January release of my book. But then I give them something. I say, click to opt in. Now, you see how that lights up, Barry?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this goes to that funnel that I just showed you all, Barry. But what I've done is I've attached it to a custom link. You may notice when I've clicked over here, it said 247epicjourney.com. So I'm just trying to point out these pieces so that people can understand the big picture of how would you use a funnel link like I created. Well, I'm using it in an invitation to a talk that I'm giving in San Diego. So I hyperlink this. I tell them become a part of an invitation-only group with the opportunity to participate in the beta of the Epic Educator Entrepreneur. I tell them they're going to get a special pricing. I kind of, have a little something in here, like don't worry if you're making waves simply by being yourself. The moon does it all the time. It's about that when you're epic, you're sharing your story, you're a maven. Barry, how many times have you heard me talk about everybody's a maven, right?
Right. Everybody has a skill.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has a skill to share, to impart, and they have a story to share. So then I have one more time that they can opt in. I say, are you ready to dare to take your epic journey? So again, there's the book summary. I tell them they can click here, they can go directly to that link. So then at the very end is my bio, okay? So I've also taken the social media in here. You see how it links to every one of social media that I want them to go to. Send them to websites, give them my phone number, my email, get them on my new Blab channel. Give them a chance to book me. So do you see the effectiveness of putting together an invitation like this if you were going to do a talk, Barry?
Oh, I see. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the key is it's not just about the invitation. It's about giving them something, okay? I'm giving them something of value. They're not going to pay anything to get the book summary, all right? And they're going to get it way before anybody who gets it in January gets it, all right? They're going to get a chance to opt in. So I'm going to go off this right now, so we're going to close up. But I really want people to understand, Barry, how important it is to begin to put the pieces of the puzzle together, because sales funnels and marketing and traffic and all of that, it's like putting a puzzle together. You can have one piece of the puzzle and be missing one over here, and you won't have any success, all right? So I want every single one of you to be successful. It doesn't matter whether you're doing lead lightning, and that's where you're starting. That's a great place to start. So let me thank everybody for being here tonight. And if somebody invited you, go back and thank them. This is the kind of training that we give every single Tuesday night. Now, I'm not going to be doing it next Tuesday. And I know, Barry, I'd asked you if you might be able to do it. He's going to be traveling home because he's not going to be at his base anymore where he's been. He's going to be taking some time with his family, and then he's going to be coming out to visit me, and I'm going to show him a great time out here in Blaine, Washington. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic. But at any rate, we'll get the details straightened out on next Tuesday. But pretty much you can count on every Tuesday, Barry or myself or together, we're here and we're giving you this training. And we don't get paid to do this, okay? Neil and Michael, they don't pay us to do this training. And anybody can come, okay? I have a share code that I give people. If you are upgraded to gold, you can use share codes. And what that means, if you have a share code of mine, then you can make your own custom page for this particular hangout, and you can share it with people you know. And when they come to that page and they click on About Lead Lightning, it'll go to you and sign up with you. It doesn't come to me or Barry. So if you're on just the generic page, which is the CoachBGoldNuggets.com for the community, and somebody sent you that, then just get back with them and they'll give you their special link, okay? And they'll give you their link for Lead Lightning. You can check that out. It'll allow you, again, to get a great system, pay one time $7, and you get a contact management system. You get 2 links to share, great value, done-for-you links. You can upgrade to gold. You can do a customized system. You can do a couple of more upgrades and get great courses with the free ad secrets or the Facebook marketing course. So, Barry, have I left out anything tonight? You think we've delivered some value?
Oh, I think it's all good, Dottie. It's been a great hangout, plenty of gold nuggets, and it's just it's a whole lot to absorb. So I think we're good to leave it where it's at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thanks so much, Barry. It's always a pleasure to, be with you. I miss when I'm not in the saddle with you. So let me just say before we leave, if you have any questions about some of the things we did, put them in the chat box down there. And I'm going to ask you if you think this really delivered some great value tonight. I mean, even if you're a beginner and you don't understand all that, if you see the value of what you can do in the future, go over to our Facebook group and say, hey, Barry and Dottie rocked the hangout tonight. Because, we like to get some feedback and know that we've done a decent job for you in showing what is the potential with Power Lead System and Lead Lightning. And put some comments down there. Give us some love. And we're not above asking for love, and are we, Barry?
Oh, no, not at all.
Anyway, it's been great to spend some time with you because I know you can spend your time anywhere, and that you chose it to be with Barry and myself tonight really honors both of us. So listen, until the next Tuesdays in the future, this is Coach B signing off, the Google Hangout Maven, and Barry T. He's Mr. T, Barry Tuck. He's the man. He's the guy that empowers the millennials. So if you're a millennial out there, you're a young one, get with Barry. He can help you a lot, okay? And thank you again, and we will see you next time, okay? Good night, everybody. It's night here. Good morning, wherever you're at. Bye for now.